Hi everyone, Sarah Cummins of Waterfall Yoga Therapy, and I was in the middle of my scoliotic practice today. I have an S-curve with a thoracic or upper body curvature to the right and a lower body curvature to the left in my lumbar. And I do a practice daily to prevent my curvatures from increasing or getting worse over time as I age. So I thought I'd share a few of the techniques that I do every day. So it will vary depending on which direction your curves go, if you have a C curve or an S curvature. But this is pretty much a generic practice everyone can do regardless of which direction your curves go and really even how severe they are. So you may have to modify this practice in your bed for the lying down portion, and you may also have to place blankets or pillows under certain parts of your body if you have kind of a hump in your spinal column at some point along the line. So for me, I have a 14 or 15 degree curve in my lower lumbar and about a 9 or 10 in my thoracic and my upper back. So I'm capable of laying pretty comfortably on my back without any props. So softer surface on your bed or with pillows kind of jammed into all the places that might not allow you comfort. Maybe you need a pillow up under one shoulder that's elevated because of your scoliotic pattern, or vice versa down lower in your lumbar. So once you get into a reclined position on your back, you can bend your knees and keep your feet on the floor. And arms in a comfortable position. I'm going to move my arms out of the way so that you can see what's happening in my spine. Once you get down on the floor, you want to take several breaths and tune into your body, noticing how it feels, making sure your body feels situated and as comfortable as possible. And then as you inhale, begin to tip your pelvis forward so the tailbone draws down into the mat. The lower back arches a little bit so that maybe you can slide a hand underneath. And the chest is rather open. And then as you exhale, slowly start to decrease that arch, letting the spinal column draw down towards the mat, and the pelvis tips back. So the tailbone now is drawing more upward towards your knees. So your range of motion may be a little less or a little more as you breathe in, tipping the pelvis forward, the back muscles contract. And then as you exhale, tipping the pelvis back flattens towards the mat, the belly contracts, and the back muscles lengthen. So do that 3 or 4 more times on your own. Inhaling, tipping the pelvis forward, noticing what happens with your neck, if the neck wants to adjust and move with your spine. Paying particular attention to the contraction of the muscles, tightening of the muscles. And then really slowing down the movement to feel those muscles that were contracted let go. A lot of us with scoliosis will have a really tight psoas muscle, at least on one side of the body. And so it can make for a pain or discomfort in the body a lot of the time, or an imbalance in the body. And this conscious contraction of the muscles is a somatic movement, a somatic retraining of your brain and central nervous system to create new pathways to the brain, new pieces of information. So once you've done that undulation of the spine, back and forth several times slowly, then pause and let your spine be neutral and just notice and observe all the changes that it's already created. And I'm gonna roll over onto my left side because my lumbar curve is the biggest curve, has the most angle. And it curves left in the lower lumbar, so I'm gonna roll onto my left side. So my shortened side, which is the concave side, that's usually the side of the spine that's a little bit flatter and maybe weaker or tighter in some cases because of the compensation of the spine when we're moving about our life and in our business. Rolling onto your left side, you're gonna bring your knees together, your ankles together, and stack your hips. So if you have a wall behind you, you might even bring a couch or a wall behind your back so that you know your shoulders are in line with your seat as if you were sitting in a chair. And you should be able to almost see your big toes in most cases if your legs are in the right position. Then the right hand can be used as balance, or you can let the right arm rest on your side. And just get used to being in that position. Make sure that you have enough padding in your hips. And then relax shoulder. Bring your elbow to a bent position and place your hand on your lower spine, just above your hip bone, so you feel the soft tissue. And to begin, let's just lift the head and shoulders. So lifting upward and feeling the contraction of that muscle right underneath your fingers and your thumb. And then slowly let the head come down as slowly as possible. And then play with lifting your top ankle, but keeping your knees together. And feel how lifting the ankle hikes the hip slightly and engages those same muscles underneath your fingers. And then let them down slowly. And feel how the muscles then go soft, more pliable. We're going to add those two pieces or components together. So for me, this is my shortened side. This is the one that's always contracted or pulled down already. So we're doing this side first in my body because I want to train it to soften. I want to train it to lengthen back out and create more space so the spine is more balanced. So as you breathe in, lift your head slightly off your lower arm if you've created a pillow, and at the same time, lift your heel. And feel how the muscles go tense under your fingers, and then slowly feel them decontract as you bring your head back down and your foot back down to touch the ankle and the floor. And then relax completely. So you only want to do this about 3 to 5 times max. And this time I'm going to give you another variation. We're going to take the right arm up over the head and create kind of a headband so that your right hand supports the left side of your head. And feel there's length there now. You might even take a breath and feel the length in the rib cage. And then as you exhale, begin to lift the head, supporting the head with the hands at the same time you lift your ankle. Trying to keep from doing any kind of twist or otherwise, which most of the time our spines do have a little bit of twist and torque in them when we have scoliosis. So that's really important, keeping your spine straight, lifting it up, and then slowly drawing those two parts away from each other, the hip and the shoulder, and then relax completely. So in somatics, we want to pay careful attention to the muscles that may be unconsciously contracted to consciously decontract them. So let's do one more. And this time, if you'd like, you might stretch the arm up over your head. And as you inhale, prepare. As you exhale, curl up and bring your shoulder closer to your hip, and your hip will hike closer to your shoulder. Contracted, feeling the contraction, and then as slowly as you can, maybe even counting back from 8 to 1. Decontracting head and ankle back to the floor. And then relax completely. Now, if you have C-curve scoliosis, to the right, you might have started on your right side. If you have an S-curve like I do, then it might be nice to balance the two sides because you do have a curve in two different directions in two parts of your spine. So take your time, slowly come upright. You can pause the video if it takes you a little longer to switch sides. And then go on to your other side if you have an S-curve. Or if you just feel really imbalanced now and you need to balance the bodies. Right and left side. So I'm going to go right into lifting both the head and the foot at the same time. But make sure you can almost see your big toes, 90-degree angle, shoulders in line with the hips. Inhale to prepare and exhale to lift up the ankle and the head, hiking the hip and bringing the shoulder closer to the hip so you feel contracted. And then slowly let it go. And relax completely. And take a version of that yourself 3 times if you're doing the second side. Feeling the muscles decontract. It's really important to pay attention to that softness we're creating in the body. And then relax completely. And this last one, I'm going to stretch my arm out, do the same thing. Inhale, prepare, exhale to lift. Feeling the muscles contract, grow shorter, closer together. Because my lumbar curve is greater in my body, on this side, it tends to be a little more uncomfortable. And then slowly come out of it and rest. So that rest and relaxation point is very important at the end of the practice. You might want to roll over again onto your back and go back to where you began on your back, noticing how it feels. If your shoulders are closer to the floor, if they feel more balanced in the hips, maybe less weight or pressure. You notice a lot of differences in how your body is in this position the second time around. All right, so for this next part of the video, the other thing that I do daily is some sort of traction practice. And depending on your capabilities in your body right now, there are 2 options I like to give my yoga therapy private clients. So make your way up to a standing position and to a wall somewhere. And then you want to step a few feet away from the wall and place your hands on the wall. Hinge at your hips and continue to walk your feet back. Feet parallel to one another, palms on the wall, and then letting your chest drop and your head lower between the arms. So you're framing the head with your arms. Wrists are about in line with your shoulders or so on the wall. So you're creating an L shape with your body. Now imagine that someone had a strap on your thighs or your hips and is pulling your sit bones to the wall behind you. And at the same time, imagine that someone's pulling on your hands or your wrists in the opposite direction. And you can soften your knees, especially if you tend to lock your knees out and hyperextend your knees. I always encourage you to give a nice little bend to the knees. And you're going to stay here for as long as it's comfortable breathing. Full deep breaths, encouraging the spinal column to stretch or lengthen or create space. And also at the same time creating space in your ribs on the sides of your body. And when you're ready, you can come out of that or rest by lifting your head and stepping towards the wall. So that's one version, and often a safer version for a lot of people. So if you are by yourself and you don't have someone to help you, I have a little trick that I use. It's a yoga strap, slip through the D-ring so that it is creating a nice big loop. And then I wrap the loop around a sturdy door and doorknob and place the strap in front of my hip bones, feet parallel to one another. And you might have a wall or a chair or something in front of you, a folding chair that you can reach out to, a coffee table. Especially if downward dog is difficult for you, because that's essentially the pose that we're doing to create traction. So once you have it in the right place and you're sure it's not on any of your digestive organs, over the hip bones, nice and sturdy, then you can walk the feet forward till you get a little bit of resistance. Start to forward bend down to your chair or step stool, coffee table. And now we're essentially in a forward bend. So to create the downward dog shape and the traction, I'm going to step one foot back towards the wall or door and then another foot back. All right, feet are about shoulder distance apart now, parallel to one another. I'm going to walk the hands forward. And then let the head hang. So now in this shape, more of a V shape for some of us. A little bit of softness to the knees. And I'm walking my hands away gradually over time, looking back at my toes. And there I'm creating traction in the spine. I can feel in my body where I'm shortening the right side. My body automatically collapses on the right in my lumbar. So I'm going to walk my right fingers forward a little bit more to lengthen out the lower right lumbar of my spine. And I'm taking nice, deep belly breaths. That means my belly is expanding as I breathe in and contracting as I breathe out. Now, if you have any form of high blood pressure or glaucoma, you will want to do the L shape against the wall. You don't want to be upside down in an inversion, especially for very long. Also, on the days that I have maybe vertigo or a little dizziness, I will do the first version against the wall. So as you exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Send your hips back so the strap gets a little looser. And you may be a little bit stiff from holding the pose, so you can bring your hands to your thighs. And then slowly stand upright. And let the blood pressure and everything regulate itself. And take a few breaths standing. And then when you're done, you can step out of the strap. And come back to a seated position, sitting on a chair or your bed or on the floor. And with a tall spine, notice now how you feel. If the spine feels a little more spacious, if there's more space in the side ribs, you might even notice that your breathing feels different. So just recognizing all of these subtle changes in just 3 simple mindfulness exercises for your scoliotic pattern. Thank you for listening in today. I'm Sarah Cummins, owner of Waterfall Yoga Therapy, and I offer wise and compassionate pain care alternatives, offering the teachings of Ayurveda and yoga to help you get to the root of your problem.
Please visit my website, waterfallyogallc.com, and hit subscribe to see new videos as they come out.